Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we shall be making shortcrust pastry and you will be needing these ingredients. Into a bowl you want to weigh yourself 300 grams of plain flour, and into this flour you will want to take your butter of 150 grams and using your fingers you want to rub the flour in until you get a nice breadcrumb consistency. A good way of knowing to see if it's a good breadcrumb consistency is when you shake the bowl, all the large parts gets thrown to the top. You want to ensure that that butter is completely within the flour. Okay, as you can see, our breadcrumb consistency is finally ready. Now what you want to do is you want to start adding small amounts of water to it, cold water, until it starts coming together. So what you want to essentially do is you want this to start coming together. Now, a good way of knowing whether your dough is good, because you don't want to work it too much, is when it starts randomly cracking like this. In which case, you want to add a bit more water. Just a bit, not too much. And you keep going until all the dough comes together. Okay, and that's our dough ready. Now what you want to do is you want to cover that up with a tea towel and just leave it to rest for about 10 minutes. Okay, so our shortcrust is almost ready. In the meantime, switch your oven on to gas mark 45 at 180 degrees. So, whilst that's getting ready to heat up, you want to take your shortcrust pastry, which is now solidified, essentially, slightly way at the bottom, don't know why. Give me a minute. Okay, so once it's ready, you just want to lightly dust your surface with some flour, as so. Take your beautiful shortcrust, blast it, and you want to roll it out to a thin layer. Not so thin, enough that you can actually work with it. Okay, now we've rolled it out to almost a thin sheet. You now want to take something like this, like a cutter of some sort. Now naturally you'd want to get yourself like proper shortcrust pastry tins and stuff. I don't exactly have that, so I'm just going with what I have. Basically, if the camera person would like to come near it, okay, you want to get yourself a tray and line it with baking paper. What you want to do, the portion that you cut out, you want to gently fold that inwards until it reaches the bottom. Cut out any excess parts that you don't need and just causes issues. Naturally, So naturally, you will find some cracks. You can just fill that up with a bit more Play-Doh. One of your trays essentially done. You want to keep these overhangs because when you bake, they start to shrink. So this is perfect. Okay. So once you got your stuff ready, I also got a nice bigger one for me. Anything extra like this, you can put it away and leave it to make for another day. Preferably get it used within 3 days. So now what you want to do is with these things, you want to prevent it from rising. So you want to get yourself some cling film, go on top, so push it in, and rice, you fill it with rice. Once you have enough, pat it down, you wrap it up with the cling film. Make sure it's wrapped on there quite nicely. Now the reason you want to do that is to prevent the actual pastries from rising, because otherwise like a small layer of it will start rising randomly. Do the rest for your last whatever. And now you can pop it into your oven, like so. And you basically want to cook it until the outer edges start golden browning a bit. That should take probably 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, whilst we let that cook, I think we should go to the king and see what he has to say. Subscribe. Anything else? Follow at Simply Cookies. Thank you, King. Right, now whilst it's cooking, we can start preparing for step 2. which is basically we're going to be making two separate dishes. We'll be making a quiche and a chocolate tart, right? So to make quiche, you will need at least 2 eggs, a cup of cream, double cream, and a bit of milk. And give it a whisk. Basically, once you see no parts of any egg yolks or any eggs at all, then you're basically good to go. Okay, so basically, around this time, the kitchen was being used. I was unable to exactly show you how the Shortcrust turned out, but basically, the gist of it is, once it's been essentially cooked, you want to shave off whatever excess that was there using a peeler, and you want to egg wash the inside and put it back in the oven to essentially let the bottom bit cook. Obviously, remove the rice, the cling film, and don't put it back in again. So basically, once the thing is done and it has been shaven, we'll start with our quiche, beautiful quiche drink. Now to this, you can add basically anything you want and just fill the rest up with your quiche mixture and pop it into the oven until it has until it stops wobbling and the liquid has solidified. To mine, I'm just gonna add the simple mixture. That should be enough. Okay, now for this part, we will need ourselves some chocolate and double cream. So basically what you wanted to do is you wanted to heat the double cream and the chocolate together, give it a nice mix like so, and then essentially pour into your tart tin, your baked Shortcrust pastry, and pop it in the fridge to let it settle. That there, ladies and gentlemen, is our Shortcrust pastry.